The Whisper of the Deadly Sweets, Part 4. Morning dawned over Meadowbrook. The village bathed in a gentle golden light as the first rays of the sun broke over the horizon. Eldric, the village elder, awoke to the familiar sound of roosters crowing. He stretched, feeling the stiffness in his old bones, and quickly prepared himself for the day's duties. His mind briefly wandered back to the strange book he had read the previous night, but he brushed off the uneasy thoughts and focused on his responsibilities. Eldric began his day with a visit to the crops. He strolled through the fields, offering advice to the farmers on how best to cultivate and protect their plants. He had a wealth of knowledge from years of experience and enjoyed sharing his wisdom with the villagers. The crops were the lifeblood of Meadowbrook, and ensuring their health was one of his top priorities. As the morning wore on and the sun climbed higher in the sky, Eldric made his way back to the village center. The market was bustling with activity, villagers chatting and trading goods. Eldric joined Oren, the fisherman, for a brief chat. They spoke about the latest catch and the state of the river, the usual topics that marked their easy friendship. In the midst of their conversation, Eldric noticed a woman in the street, her face etched with worry. She was asking everyone she passed if they had seen her son. Intrigued, Eldric excused himself from Oren and approached the woman. "Good day, madam. Is something the matter?" Eldric asked kindly. The woman turned to him, desperation in her eyes. "My son, sir. He's been missing since this morning. No one has seen him." Eldric's brow furrowed in concern. "Have you checked with the other children? Sometimes they wander off to play." "Yes, sir. No one has seen him," she replied, her voice trembling. "I see. I'll keep an eye out and inform the villagers to be on the lookout," Eldric assured her before returning to his duties. Meanwhile, in the heart of Meadowbrook, Tariq, the blacksmith's apprentice, was already hard at work. The clang of metal echoed through the forge as he worked diligently under the watchful eye of Hassan, the blacksmith. Despite the intensity of his work, Tariq couldn't shake the unease that had settled in his gut. As he hammered away, Tariq glanced up and saw Laila approaching. Hassan greeted her warmly, noting she looked downcast. "What's the matter, Laila?" he asked kindly. Before she could answer, Tariq teased, "Did you have any more candy dreams?" But Laila, usually lively and full of energy, merely shook her head and murmured, "Not today." She lingered only a moment longer before wandering off, a troubled expression on her face. Hassan, sensing Tariq's lingering tension, instructed him to fetch more water. It was now afternoon, and the sun hung high in the sky. Tariq grabbed his buckets and made his way to the stream. As he approached the stream, Tariq noticed a couple searching frantically, calling out a name. Their elder son approached Tariq and asked, "Have you seen a boy of about 6 years old running around?" Tariq shook his head. "No, I haven't seen anyone like that." The family continued their desperate search as Tariq filled his buckets and returned to the forge. He mentioned the missing child to Hassan, who responded with a reassuring yet dismissive tone. "Some kids have a tendency to explore. He'll probably be back by nightfall." The day wore on, and as the sun began to set, the worried parents and relatives returned to the village, having found no sign of the boy. Eldric, now back at home after his day's work, heard the voices of the villagers discussing the missing child. His thoughts turned to the book he had found the previous night. Eldric retrieved the book and began reading again. The tales within spoke of witches in the woods who lured children with illusions and dreams of candy trails leading to houses made of sweets. These stories described how the witches would lead children to their lairs through these enchanted dreams. Eldric frowned as he read, dismissing it as mere fairy tales, but he couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. He closed the book and went to sleep, pushing the unsettling thoughts from his mind. As night fell, the missing boy's father spoke to his wife. "We'll go to the nearby villages tomorrow and ask around. Maybe someone has seen him," he said, determination in his voice. His elder son nodded in agreement. The villagers settled into an uneasy night, the air thick with worry and the whispers of missing children hanging over Meadowbrook like a dark cloud.